Hello and welcome to Simudan, and welcome back to Train Simulator World 2 and my exploring the London Commuter Line series. We're just leaving East Croydon here, which is, well, I actually got South Croydon last time, but slightly behind. I decided to start from the last place I actually explored, which was East Croydon. So we're just leaving. We're going to today cover Gatwick Airport and also Haywards Heath. If you haven't yet caught my first video in this series, then there should be a link at the top of the screen. I suggest you go and watch that one first and then come back to this one if you want to see the entirety of this route covered. It will be a 3-part series. So, I hope you're all well. As I say, today just going to cover those 2 stations. A little bit wary. I sort of did this the other day and did the same service twice, although it was in timetable mode, and halfway along the Quarry Line I somehow managed to crash, as in the game crashed twice over, and then I gave up. So I'm hoping that won't happen today, but as I say, it was in timetable mode, so who knows. So here we go, just going through South Croydon here. That is the line toward East Grinstead and Uckfield, going up that way. And in fact there is a station, and I think we should be able to actually see the station on that line from the track here. I mean, it may or may not be modelled, I don't know, I've not actually had a look. I don't think it is. So, for those of you that aren't so familiar with the line actually splits in a few minutes, and you end up with one side going off toward Red Hill and taking all the sort of slow lines, and then you've got the Quarry Line, which is the one that goes the other way and diverts all of that, and there's no stops along there whatsoever. Why it's called the Quarry Line, I'm not actually sure. I'm sure there's someone that can put it down in the comments below for a reason as to why it is named that, but I have no idea. Yeah, so strangely I've actually got quite a bit of Train Simulator World content at the moment, and that is purely just Balham. Don't think it is it? No, I may have already passed Balham, I'm not sure. Oh yes, it is. Yeah, that's actually a Tesco in reality, and it doesn't look anything like that, but you can kind of see the no, sorry, Purley. That's Purley. So it's sort of up there as a Purley Way. Yeah, sorry, mixed up the stations there, but yeah, that is actually a Tesco there. Yeah, none of that looks like that in reality. You can kind of see the road network, but not particularly realistic in terms of what you're actually seeing there. But at the end of the day, they kind of expect you to be in this view, so you kind of wouldn't really see that much, would you? So here we go, the line's starting to split off now. Something I forgot to do actually, and usually I do, is turn on all of the AWS and all of those sorts of systems. So yeah, if you go down that way, it goes to Red Hill. Strangely, Red Hill's that direction, and what actually happens is these two lines cross, and then when they come and meet, we'll end up meeting that line from the other side, if that makes sense. So yeah, East Croydon to Gatwick is a fairly long way, but because of this line, because the way this works, it doesn't feel as far as it might otherwise feel. So there's the line down there that going off to Red Hill, and in a second we should be crossing it. Start turning toward us, or we turn away and then go over it, I think. Yeah, here we go. We turn away here and then go and sort of loop over it. So this expansion, or this route, which is an expansion, comes with both lines. So you can do the Quarry Line or you can do the Red Hill branch, and also comes with I cannot remember where it goes, but there is another line off there, a little branch line that goes off by one stop as well. I want to say Reigate, but I know it's not. I'm pretty certain it's not anyway. So yeah, this line is, the Quarry Line here is full of tunnels. So you get your nice dark, I can't see a thing effect going through here. Get a bit of that. So something I wondered about since doing the Class 101 tutorial was the braking systems on trains. And what I actually found is that the pressure that you put on your brakes, though it's like a reverse pressure system. So a zero pressure actually means that you've got a full lock on your brakes. So you're actually once you put pressure on your brake, you're actually pushing those stops away from the wheel rather than onto them. So if you think about your bike, where you pull the lever and your brakes go on around the bike, what's actually happening when on a train, when you pull your lever, what's actually happening is those brakes are coming away from the wheel rather than onto it, which I found quite interesting. It wasn't something I'd really thought of before, but I did wonder why the pressure gauge seemed to go the wrong way on the Class 101. And if you actually go and watch my Class 101 tutorial, I sort of skim over the fact I'm confused, but you can kind of tell, if you're really paying attention, you can tell that I'm confused on that one, by the fact that the brakes are going the wrong way on the gauge, and I'm telling you to watch that gauge a lot as well. So yeah, this train has a gauge, and you can see that the brake here is currently at 7, pressure is 7, which is a release. If you watch later when I stop, that will actually come down rather than up, to stop the train. I'm not sure what this one is. So you got MR and DC. I don't know what the difference is. If there is anyone that is a much bigger train enthusiast than me, then let me know in the comments. That would be great. There you go, that one came up. So maybe this is actually a different method on this train. Who knows? There you go, speeding now because didn't quite catch that in time. Here you go, you can see we're now rejoining the track. So with that last tunnel we went through was where last time I would have had a crash to desktop. So fortunately that's not happened today, and we're able to carry on with this video. And this is my first take. I haven't yet had to do a second take. So hopefully we won't run into any further problems. Probably curse myself now. I'm always blown away when I look around on these simulators, on the amount of detail now they are putting in. I remember a day when most simulators were like a 2D. You'd have a 2D dashboard, even in train simulators. I think if you look back at Microsoft Train Simulator, it was pretty much all 2D in front of you. I remember driving the Flying Scotsman on that, and it was all just like a 2D dash, sort of kind of tried to make it look 3D-ish, but it was definitely all the gauges and everything in front of you were just basically drawn onto a 2D sort of sketch, if you like. But now with the sort of modelling on this, I mean, they've even added in like all the different buzzer codes here that which you can use. I don't know what the I don't know if there's a keyboard shortcut or not for it, but yeah, there is a buzzer you can use. I can't remember where it is. You got the depot whistle there, but yeah, is it here? Signal. There you go. Yeah, absolutely amazing that you can do these things. That's strange. I don't know if you just noticed that, but on the HUD there, it said that I had a yellow aspect signal, which is odd because this is in scenario planner mode. So I plan this scenario putting just my train in to give it the best chance of surviving through the Quarry Line as possible. And yeah, it's kind of, there shouldn't be anything in front of me, so I don't know why we had that aspect signal. Very strange. So here we are, about a mile away now from Gatwick Airport. Right, start slowing it down slowly. I think this might be Hawley we're going through now. If I can find a sign. No, I'm not going to find a sign in time. There you go, you can see the planes coming into land over the top of the line going into Gatwick Airport there, which is a great bit of added detail. I'm not sure what it does to the frame rate, but it is a great bit of added detail that they've done that. Not actually sure how it's been done, whether it's the same piece of scenery on a loop or how they've done it really. Whoa, I'm coming in way too fast. Here we go. So this is what I always think of as the dark and dingy station. The colour scheme that they've used on this station is quite a dark one. Sort of navy blue signs and all the rest of it. And most of it is underneath like a canopy that is, as you saw back there, has minimal lighting. Open the doors. That's it's nicely been added now as a keyboard shortcut. So Y for opening the doors on this side, or U on the other side. And we will have a look around. So as I say, this is sort of slightly reminiscent of reality. Like, it is quite dull and drab underneath. It just feels like you're hemmed in and quite closed. But you know, I guess at least they've captured that. So somewhere around here, I can't find the way out. There's a way out there. No idea. I can't find the bridge. Here we go. So I've come to Gatwick a few times. Now that would definitely be lit up. I've come to Gatwick a few times and never come over to this platform, so I'm not sure about this this section, but yeah, here you go, on platform 5 and 6 here. So what I'm imagining is there's probably a way up onto this other bridge over here, rather than it all being on this bit. But yeah, this is sort of reminiscent of what I remember of Gatwick Airport on the platforms. It's all under this. You've got these sort of light strips that are quite... they're okay. They do the job, I suppose. They give you enough light to make sure you're not falling off the platform. And bearing in mind, most people alighting here are going on an aeroplane. It's steps, no escalators. It is all steps, and that is the truth of it. Of course, you do have the lifts, which I think are modelled around the back here. Yeah, so they've modelled the lifts. So of course, you do have the lifts to take you up as well, and you've got the sort of nice bright end of the platform there. So this sort of area is where you would end up with the southern trains mostly coming through, and First Capital Connect as well, or Thameslink if you're old school. Yeah, I'm not going to do every platform because they're all pretty much the same, but then over that end, those two platforms are more Gatwick Express. In fact, probably this one here as well, which historically used to be just Gatwick to London, but now also connects Brighton as well. And as you come along here, so where that sort of blue door type thing is, as far as I'm aware, that is pretty much permanently open, and that goes straight out onto the airport and the airport concourse itself, as in the sort of public area of the airport. You've got all the check-in desks and whatnot over there. I'm going to be a lazy train driver, and yeah, this seems very narrow. I can't remember whether it's this narrow in reality. I can't imagine, for safety reasons, that it would be, because I mean, if the yellow line's there's not enough room to walk through. I cannot imagine it being that narrow at all. I honestly can't remember, but I don't think it is. I'm up here. Right. Let's turn on these, shall we? At least the AWS. I'll leave the rest for now. Oh, does help if I close the doors. Okay. We'll set it for Brighton. Confirm location. Right. If we go on the outside now, this is sort of what you see as this massive car park on this side, which is pretty much the view you get. And you got the sidings modelled over there, and you've kind of got the airport sort of semi-done over there with the planes. And you kind of get the end of the runway, but it's very near distance. The draw distance isn't very good. Again, they're expecting you in this view, aren't they? So probably not too bad. And actually, from the train, you can't see all that much. So yeah, I can't complain too much, but it would have been nice to see more of the airport modelled. Possibly out of slightly my sort of flight simulator geekiness coming through there, because I've flown a couple of times out of Gatwick on Flight Sim. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice, but you know, they can't model everything, and they do need to focus primarily on what's in the foreground, don't they, in terms of what's directly around the track. And I mean, I don't know if you saw that. It's nice to actually see a car go across the bridge. which is something that is decidedly missing from the Cornwall route. I don't know if any of you have played the Cornwall route, but it's really nicely done, but then feels a little bit like something's missing when you're near the roads and you don't see anything like moving around the roads whatsoever. Not to mention the strange way passengers get into your train on that route, where they kind of dive through your floor. But they've done a fairly good job with that route, and at some point I intend to explore that with you. So this week I've done 2 Train Simulator World videos, this one and also one from just exploring the New Journeys expansion, which was a very short video. But next week, so every so often I put a vote out for my Patreon subscribers, and they get to vote on what content I'm gonna do out of that vote. They'll get 3 choices and they get to choose which one it is. So next week I actually have another Train Simulator World video based on one of those votes, and that one will be the going back to the Brighton East Coast Line, or East Coast Way, and I will be taking a train from Brighton into Seaford, which will be one of the class, is it a 308? No, that's not right. I really should think these things through before I start talking about them, shouldn't I? Which will be the class 313, and I'm going to be exploring the 313 and what comes with that as well, because the train expansions on Train Simulator World, not entirely sure whether for the most part I will buy them, and I'll probably cover why that is in that video. So if you're interested, then stick around and hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. Not only will you get the 3rd part of this, but you'll also get my upcoming Train Simulator World videos as well, which have been voted for. So I think in a moment we should be approaching a viaduct. We're sort of now blitzing down into the Sussex countryside, so a bit of a change from my first video where it was primarily London based. So this one is now more sort of out in the sticks, which, you know, when you play this route in Train Simulator, not Train Simulator World, but in Train Simulator, you find this end of the route is very easy running and the rest of it is very, very slow and sort of jolty. There's a lot of lag, which is why I prefer this simulator actually to Train Simulator. I prefer Train Simulator World because it feels a little bit more optimized, and actually for the most part it looks better as well, and you know, you've got more to it. You can walk around the stations where you can't in Train Simulator, and it just feels a bit nicer to be able to do like this and not have your frame rate being sort of 1 frame every 5 to 6 seconds. So there you go. So I think this we're going through now is Balcombe, if I'm not mistaken. Never actually been on the station here, but I have. I've been to Balcombe Village. I actually used to live in Burgess Hill, and had visited visited some people. Well, I sort of worked all around the area and visited some people in Balcombe, which was actually quite a long way from Burgess Hill. But yeah, this whole area would be termed as Mid Sussex, and I worked for the King's Church Mid Sussex, and we it was a sort of on a gap year program, so I did that and had lots of interaction with various people all around the area, which was interesting. So here you go. This is the viaduct I talked about. So I am interested. I've not actually had a look yet, but if you... No, I don't think you can. I wondered if you could see the house at Nyman's, which is up on that hill over there. But again, probably too far in the background to be included. So there's an old disused line that goes off that way, which we should be able to see in a minute. There we go, coming through the hedgerow there. So that line is no longer in use. I don't actually know where it used to go. I think I have been told at one point or another, but can't for the life of me remember. Right, we'll start slowing down now for Haywards Heath, and once we get there I'll jump out again, have a look around the station, and then we will call it a day, and I'll take you from Haywards Heath all the way down to Brighton in part 3 of this series. So I am fairly familiar with Haywards Heath. In fact, I'd even say extremely familiar with Haywards Heath. So this could be quite interesting in terms of what we see here. Sort of almost as familiar as with Polegate, if you've seen my East Coast Way exploration video. So sometimes in timetable mode you can actually come to this station, and just like in the real world, 2 trains will come here and join together to become 1 train, and you can actually do that and be a part of, you know, and drive those 2 trains. Oh. Of course it does this. No, we want to carry on. Right, sorry for that brief interruption. So here we are at Haywards Heath, now actually in timetable mode, and I forgot to set the time of day, so we're actually at roughly the time of day that it is in reality right this second while I'm filming this, 9 o'clock at night. So yeah, we'll have a look around. What had happened is I'd forgotten to set the scenario as a passenger mode, which would then have enabled me to carry on sort of exploring. So down there's a petrol station, which is there in reality. You've got this roundabout again there, and this is actually a row of shops here. I don't know if it's still there, but there used to be a music shop. You've got the station entrance down there, which if we go down underground, we will find that is inaccessible. I think this is actually straight in reality and goes straight down into the so roughly where that wall is, there'd be some barriers and that would take you there. In fact, these all seem to be stuck as well, don't they? Right, go back up again. This I believe is straight and takes you out onto the road the other side of the station. So the station is sort of built up on a bridge. So yeah, you got sort of some office blocks there, and over there where I'm looking now is a Sainsbury's and not a load of flats. Which, yeah, you know, the car park is right, but the fact that that's a block of flats and not a Sainsbury's is not so right. So as you can see, the bridge is here, comes out and over, and usually you can come out sort of just here from underneath the concourse, or underneath the tunnel system down there. So yeah, actually the station itself is fairly well modelled. I love these. This terminates here. That's because it's joining with that one and becoming a London Victoria service. But yes, I love how well they've modelled these. I love the fact that these are now in and working in such a way that you actually know when they're coming. So if we hang around to 2107, I don't know if we will or not, then we'll actually see this train come in. And you've got all these sort of ticket machines all modelled well as well. So yeah, this is all looking fairly like it does in reality. You can definitely tell that this is Haywards Heath Station. As I say, the only thing that I would begrudge is the tunnel system, I think. The new car park is built up there, or dark cross rather than going back through the tunnels. So this is quite new actually, these tunnels here. The tunnels, the multi-storey car park. It used to just be sort of pretty much like this. It was actually, for the size of the station, it was a relatively small car park. Didn't work all that well, and over between these buildings over there should be Clare Hall, but again they've put like an office block there instead, which is actually a single story building. So you know, swings and roundabouts, they do what's in the foreground extremely well, and what's in the background is just throw it in and that will do. But then I suppose I can't really expect them to be looking all the way around at everything. Gas. I don't think you would see many signs in Haywards Heath saying gas for a petrol station, but I could be wrong. I can't remember it saying gas there, but there you go. So yeah, that one's going to Littlehampton and Eastbourne. So that one will actually be splitting here, I would have thought, with half of it going off to Littlehampton, half of it going off to Eastbourne. So yeah, this is sort of a busy station for that. There you go, you can see where the two trains have split and become two separate ones. So that's still saying, does this one just say, no, both of them say Littlehampton and Eastbourne. So yeah, I like the fact that they thought about this and actually included it. And also, look at the livery on it. Nice sort of specks of dirt, which you know, and especially on the front there, they've done extremely well. But anyway, that is, there we go, front half just pulled out now, so the other half will go in a bit. But yeah, I really enjoy this route. I really enjoy the way they have done it. There's little niggles here and there, but most of that is background rather than foreground. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe, and comment down below. It really helps the growth of my channel. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.